YouTube.
Is it on yet? Is it on?
It says you're now streaming live on YouTube.
Oh. Okay, cool. I don't see it yet. Awesome, awesome. Hello, everyone. So I figured we would just talk a little bit about whatever you want to talk about.
On yet? It says you're now streaming live on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't see it yet. But hold on. Awesome. Hello, everyone. So
is that on your end or my end?
Mine. There. Because it opened up YouTube page on my browser, and so it just started talking.
Girl, you know what? Mercury retrograde, none of this would be, if it didn't mess up,
it wouldn't be right.
I mean, really, the whole freaking month has just been a fuck fest. A fuck fest. I want to talk about, do you ever use Mercury retrograde oil? Have you ever used it during the retrogrades?
I haven't. I've seen people who make it, but I've never used it myself.
I have a friend that normally brings me some, and normally I'm like, okay, because retrogrades are really harsh, really, really harsh.
Well, we're in 5 of them.
Girl, this one has been brutal. I'm not even gonna lie. This one has been so freaking brutal when it comes to miscommunication, when it comes to, Jazz phone broke down, then her laptop broke down, then I was having issues with my phone, then my car started acting up, and I know a lot of people are going through it. So it has literally been brutal. I've been doing altar work, ritual work, cleansing baths. Like right before we did this, I had to take a cleansing bath, and it was like, I feel refreshed. You guys, if you want something really, really quick, I always try to use like basil, rosemary, Florida water. I put Epsom salt and a little bit of baking soda, and just, mix it up, pray over it. Whether it's your Psalms, whether it's whatever prayers or deity you work with, pray over it, anoint it, and then take a bath or a shower with it. It just makes you feel like you're brand freaking new. And sometimes we need that.
So basil, rosemary?
Basil, rosemary,
baking soda, and Epsom
salt, and Florida
water. Okay.
Yeah. It's really, really simple. I mean, of course, you can get deeper in. You can get deeper in with the cleanses. Because, I mean, if you're in a jam, you could use an egg. You can use coffee. But I love to use, like, cleanses that you can use in the shower, because there's something about submerging yourself in water that makes you feel clean. Like, get off me, bitches. Get off my back.
And a lot of people don't take baths. I don't take a bath. I mean, I bathe. But
I know what you're talking about, but it's true. A lot of people don't. And you have people who don't have bathtubs, so they do showers. Now, if you have a bathtub, you literally can soak in it and feel like you're soaking in it.
Well, that's why I made those bars of soap, because I don't take a bath. So
your
I put
protection,
all my ingredients in the soap. That was a cleansing.
Amazing.
Get rid of bad juju.
Are you selling it on your Etsy? Do you have any more left?
I think it's on there. Yeah, I got like 4 bars left.
Yeah, you guys, honestly, there's only 2 that really have worked for me. Yours and then TJ and Amanda, 3 Crows Conjure have, I think it's a coffee soap that literally, if I had attachments or things on me, those 2 kind of just hit it and hit it hard. And I don't make soaps. I don't. But those 2 are the ones that work for me. Lynna soap. What is the name of yours, Lynna?
Oh my God. You didn't
I call it protection soap. I don't know what you call it. I call it protection soap.
I forgot, to be honest. I came up with a really cool name. What was it? It wasn't Not Today, Satan, because that's a headache oil.
I can't remember, and it was cute. I can't remember the name of it either, but it was really, and I think yours had a little coffee in it too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So even with coffee cleansers, you guys, if you really get in a jam and you feel like you have that negative energy on you, get you some coffee. And here's a really good trick too. If you're using coffee grinds, you can add a little bit of Epsom salt to it, or either Himalayan salt or sea salt, and then add a little rosemary to it, put a little cinnamon, and you can use it as a scrub for cellulite. You could be in there praying the cellulite off your thighs.
Girl, please. It was called Chill the Fuck Out.
That's what it was. I remember now. You had to refresh it, but yeah.
Yeah, chill the fuck out. That way it would cleanse all your stuff out. And then it had a lavender. It has a lavender in it to calm you down after you get rid of the bad juju.
It's a really, really good soap. You need to make more. You need to make more, but it was good. But I think both of them incorporate coffee.
Yes.
So if you're in a jam or you like using coffee to cleanse, and it is a really easy cleanse, and it actually takes a lot off. People don't think about it, but if you make coffee, like I know some people that, make a big pot and put it in a refrigerator and they use it for their cleanses. Keep your coffee grinds. I don't like instant coffee with it though. Do you use instant?
I don't like instant coffee anyway, so I don't use it. But
I'm
you can, if you well, because if you take a bath, you actually make the cup of coffee. But those little pods for the Keurig, you're just gonna throw it out.
Yeah.
Take the grinds out of it.
Do that, and then too, not only can you use the grinds for your body, but also for your plants. If you're growing spiritual plants, protection plants, the coffee grinds are great for that.
Yeah, because the what is it? The worms eat the coffee grounds.
Yeah, they fertilize it. It makes tunnels through.
Mm-hmm.
We on the same page with this, girl. We on the same. And Jazz and I actually, we started late, but we're trying to start a little garden. And so I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, Jazz, we need to start shitting in buckets. She was like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, yeah, for fertilizer.
No, not people poop. No.
But yeah, Jazz,
because she's vegetarian, you have all those fruits and vegetables left over all the time. Watermelon rinds, all kinds of stuff.
I actually have banana water soaking right now. That's really good for your plants and things like that. And I don't know who told vegetarians that they shit smells good, because vegetarians have the worst smelling shit I have ever encountered.
It's bad.
I'm not even gonna lie, y'all.
Taylor, same way.
Yeah, you might as well eat meat. That's the way I.
Oh, it's bad. It's rotten. It's rotten.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, banana water is really, really good for your plants, especially your magical plants. Talk to them too and sing to them. Especially if you're growing magical herbs, tell them what the intention is for them when you're potting them.
Exactly. And if you don't have a yard, you can grow vegetables and plants in a pot.
Container plants. Sherwin had told me about you call it a snake plant, and we used to have these. I just didn't know the name of it, and I don't know the. Of course, I know that there's probably you know what I'm saying, a proper name for it. But he says that these are protection plants, that they ward off negative spirits. So if you have them outside your door, it deters spirits. And they're snake plants. They kind of grow up, and they have like these little stripes. It looks like a texture. It's not like a snake texture though, but you can find them at Home Depot and Lowe's. And you can Google snake plants, the picture will come up. But he was like, put those outside your door, your front door and your back door, because what they do is they deter hits and negative energy.
There's a lot of plants that do that. A lot. I mean, probably. What do chrysanthemums do? Because my mama always had chrysanthemums.
I know you can use them for protection. I mean, I'm not sure what the spiritual, what the write-up would be on it. But I remember back in the days, a lot of elders would grow them around the house. And it was more for some type of protection. Of course, you have rue, you have, rose beds, any plants with thorns are really good too.
Texas, we got cockburrs.
I mean, really, any plant with thorns is good to grow around your house. I'm trying to think what else. Ivies are really good. Vine plants are really good because they hide things. So if you have like a house and you can put a trellis, and you can actually, I love the old houses that have the vines that grow up over them.
Right. I know you don't like it, but my old house had jasmine. And it climbs.
Beautiful. Jasmine is beautiful. I just don't like the smell of it.
You know what smells really good that climbs? Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle, I do love. Honeysuckle, I do love. But you get a lot of bees and stuff though with honeysuckle.
That's okay.
I guess, you got to pick your battles. You got to pick what you want to work with. But I mean, there's tons of protection plants. You guys, Mama Star told me this, and I kind of knew it, and it just happened to me. Plants are your first line of defense when you're a worker, because when somebody throws at you or they throw at your house, your plants tend to be the first thing that takes that hit. So about, what was it, a month ago, the bushes in the front of my house just started dying like out of nowhere. And I knew it. I said, somebody fucked up my bushes. And I was pissed, but I had to thank them because they took a hit from me.
Right.
So pay attention to your plants on the outside if it's not a water issue or a fungal issue. And sometimes that can be manipulated too with work. You can have somebody that brings in a fungus. Somebody can throw something in your yard to create a fungus. Pay attention to that. And also plants that die on the inside too. If you have ivies or things that normally they've been good for a while, and then all of a sudden they start turning brown and dying, and there's no logical reason. Your soil, you're watering, you're doing fertilizing or whatever. You got to go ahead and pay attention. I had a bamboo I had for 2 years, girl, on my ancestor altar, and then all of a sudden it just turned yellow and died.
Yeah. I had that happen to me too with the bamboo.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. I was a little pissed about it because I grew it. Of course, it was an extension of myself. Do y'all have any questions? Because we're just running our mouth.
Right.
Okay.
If you guys want to ask questions, there's a little thing that says Q&A. You can type your questions there, or just chat, however you want to do it. We're pretty open. But speaking of plants, I did want to say that one thing, how we use them for protection and they take hits for us. People can also hit you with the plant by giving you like a housewarming gift. They'll bring over a plant and it'll have some shit in it too. So be careful what you get from somebody else.
It is, what I do with certain packages, I let Yoda pee on them.
Yeah.
I'll leave him outside and he'll sniff it and everything like that. And he'll raise his leg up, and if he'll pee on the box or whatever, it may or may not make it in the house. It depends on because animals are a little bit more sensitive to things that may have work attached to them. So if Yoda is barking at it and scratching at it, it ain't coming in.
Right.
And I know people who actually, they take it in their backyard and they pee on it themselves. Now, I mean,
Look, you're trying to save your poop and you won't be on the package.
Hey, I mean, really, you got to do what you got to do, right? But Lynna's right. I've seen people that, somebody told me a story, and it was recent, where somebody who was very close to them brought a housewarming gift, and it wasn't a plant. It was like a statue or something. And all of a sudden, her house started getting all these horse flies. And she was like, they just started coming out of nowhere, and they were all in the kitchen, the living room. And normally horse flies are because of work. If you get a house full, and I'm not talking about just leaving fruits and things out. If you tend to get a lot of flies that are coming in your area, and you're clean, you wipe your stuff down, then you need to start looking around your house, because like Lynna said, you'll get visitors and they'll leave stuff under your bed, under your couch, in your yard, all kind of shit. Yeah, there's very few people I let use my restroom.
Plant for your house. I thought it would be nice, and you'll be growing a plant. You'll be growing something you ain't supposed to be growing.
It's true.
I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about, they got something buried in that pot.
Well, you know what? That probably would throw me off if they brought me a plant of weed, because I would really be trying to keep that. But that probably would be the way to get me. Like, I'm not throwing the weed plant out. We're going to have to holy water this and pray.
You can pull it up by the roots.
Yeah, shake it a little bit, pray on it, holy water in with the thing. I mean, come on.
Pull it out, throw the pot away, get a new pot.
It's always a way to work around things, right? It's always ways to work around things. But she is right. I mean, what was that show? It wasn't Ghost Adventures. It was one of those paranormal shows where this girl had a party and invited these people. You okay? Okay. Anyway, this girl had a party and she invited all these people over. And after about a week after the party, everything started going wrong. Things started breaking down in the house. She got sick. I think her cat ended up dying. And she had somebody come in and cleanse because she figured something was going on in the house. Well, when the guy was cleansing it, he picked up that something was left in the house. So she just did a head to toe, like cleanse. And it was a little paquette that the person had fixed, and she dropped it behind the sofa. And so she literally, this was somebody she knew. This was somebody who came and they did the work and they dropped it in her house. So, I mean,
that happened a lot on that show Supernatural too. When things would start going wrong, or they'd start having, they're like looking underneath the car. Where's the witch bag? Where's the witch bag?
It's true. It is true, because normally it is. It's a witch bag or it's a paquette that somebody has fixed. So, I mean, of course, like you say, they could put it in a potted plant, but it definitely could be anything, like, you know, a little bag with some herbs or something in it, where, you know, they throw it under your bed or they throw it in the back of your closet. Oh, Mika, we're not doing readings today, sweets. We're just talking. We're talking conjure stuff. We'll be doing readings. Who's doing readings tonight? I think probably Shishi.
Yeah, I think she does on Thursdays.
Yeah, Shishi probably will be coming in on an out. Calico Goddess, babe. Calico Goddess. So you might want to check out her page at 7 p.m. Eastern. She should be doing readings, and then I'll be doing readings tomorrow. And Lynna's day is Tuesday.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
We're just doing like a Q&A if you guys have questions about, you know, anything magical related, but not a reading. You know, if you need to know, I don't know, how to make a mojo bag, or you know, well, here's something. Okay. Oh, somebody said something. Quick and easy way to protect. She works in the healthcare field. What is a quick and easy way to protect herself? She's also an empath.
Okay, so the easiest way would be a talisman, or you could either carry your protection bag on your clothes. Normally what I tell people, because I'm a massage therapist, I keep a little, I'm looking at, because I'm getting fancy over here doing the webcam, and I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to be looking. So I keep a little 2-ounce bottle of Florida water with me. So before I go in with my clients, I spray myself and I pray protection over myself. And then I go in and I do my massages, but I also wear protection on me. Sometimes I may put a bag in my bra, because you can put a titty gree where you wear it. It depends on what makes you comfortable. And then afterward, in case you pick up any attachments, especially in the medical field, because we do it in a massage too, you pick up attachments from people. So before I get in my car, I'll spray myself down again, just in case I'm picking up anything before I go home. So go ahead, Lynna.
And Nancy, since you work in the medical field and you're around people with germs, especially with things going on now, that Florida water is a good hand sanitizer.
Oh, it's perfect. When everybody was freaking out about the hand sanitizer, I was like, I got 5 bottles of Florida water. I'm good. Right. I'm good. And I mean, of course, you know, like she said, it's good to sanitize with, but yeah, things that you can wear at work. I know some people can't wear jewelry, but I mean, literally, you can wear earrings. You can anoint any type of jewelry, which means that if you have little studs, you can pray over them, you can anoint them. If you're wearing little beads in your hair, you can pray over that, you can anoint it. I used to spray my scrubs down and pray over them, and then iron them and hang them up in my closet, so that when I put them on, we were good to go. So it depends on what makes it easier for you. Make it easy. Conjure work and protection and things like that can be as elaborate or as simple as you want them to be.
And it could be just a prayer. If you don't have Florida water, just say a prayer. God, watch over me and protect me.
True. Oh, and Yolanda's saying even in your laundry detergent, and it's true. A lot of people use Florida water or either bluing. Bluing is it's a little powder, and it's blue, and it's really good for making your whites white. but a lot of people in the islands use it for protection. So they wash their clothes with it so that it is. To me, prayer is the most powerful thing, like Lynna said. You know, you pray over your stuff and you do it to a point where it becomes a habit. When I get out my car, spray. When I go up there to see my clients, now I keep it in my room too in case I get some dude in there that wants his gonads played with, or he wants a happy ending. I'll raise the sheet up and I'll be like, squirt, squirt, Jesus loves you. And then it goes, yeah. So it gets rid of all kind of demons, even the ones in the penis.
Wouldn't that burn though?
Who gives a shit?
It's alcohol based.
That's what he get. That is exactly what he get. So between that 1-2 punch, a little alcohol on it, and Jesus loves him, girl, that thing just deflates. And now you don't have no more problem with him. None. It's like, I got you, demon.
Right. Mika's asking about envy oil.
Envy oil?
Envy.
Like if you have somebody who is envious of you or creating it?
I guess. I've never heard of envy oil.
I've never heard of it either. Elaborate, babe. Tell us more about it, because maybe it's an oil that we use, but the name is different. Because that's interesting. Would that be like success oil?
I don't know if you're making them envious of you or if you're keeping
envy away from you?
Maybe. Oh, it keeps people from being jealous.
Ah, okay.
Because you know in the Bible it said thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, but so I guess it's like you don't want somebody wanting your stuff because they might come and rob you or whatever, or you know.
Well, I mean, you could honestly make a protection oil with rue, with I would probably put bay leaves, rosemary, and literally put the intention of it that, you know, thou shalt now covet what I have. Right. I mean, really, you can, whatever your petition is, you can put that into the oil, but it sounds like a protection oil. It's almost like, what is that one? Is it Tampa Boca shut your mouth oil? Like no gossip about me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it almost is the same thing. But here's the thing though with that. Because unfortunately, you're going to have the envy. You're going to have the gossip. So you're going to have some that seep through. I mean, depending on how the oil is made and how strong the intention is, you could probably knock a lot of things out with it. But you probably going to still have, because it's human, we're human, you're still going to have somebody that's going to hate.
I feel like if you've got somebody and you know who it is that's envious of you or trying to take what you have or be nosy or whatever, that you can just freeze them. Just put them in a jar of milk and put them in the freezer, because that would be easier to me just to block them off so they can't see what you're doing.
If you know them, no. But if you literally say your social media and you have people that are watching you, you don't know who within that group of 20, 30 people is envious of you. And I guarantee you for a lot of people, it's going to be more than 5. You could count, you probably literally are going to have some people that are going to just be, you can feel it. Mm-hmm. So when you get a group of people, yeah, but I feel like, yeah, you're right. If it's one person, yeah, you can handle that a lot of different ways, and freezing them would be one.
Yeah, because you block, like they can't even see what you're doing.
You know, a simple work that I do is every time you say my name, every time you say my name in a negative way, I want you to choke on it. I want you to choke on my name when you say my name in a negative way. So, I mean, literally, you could say that using that oil, and you could probably weigh somebody down. You can shut them up too.
Yeah. I mean,
envy oil. I like that.
You'll have to do some research.
I'm over here eating popcorn, you guys. So if I spit popcorn seeds, just turn your head.
It's okay.
Okay, I don't see any questions on my side over here. You have any new questions?
No, Yolanda was saying ammonia is good. Ammonia is very good, especially like for your house. And that I would think that that would be more for cleansing than it would be for protection, though.
Well, I mean, you can definitely use it for protection if you take that mop water and wipe your doors and your windows down and throw it outside on your sidewalk. You're wiping away things, but it is also it's a cleansing. But a lot of old workers still use it. If you put rue and things, other herbs in it, you could make it for protection, but it mostly is for cleansing. Most people put a cap full in their bathtub,
Yeah.
or even their laundry detergent too.
Oh, it works good on the laundry.
And it smells good. And I love the lemon one, the lemon ammonia.
I do too.
Now the what is it? Lysol has one that's really, really good. It's the concentrate, and my kids hate it because it smells like medicine, and it's strong. It lasts for like 3 or 4 days. But it's that Lysol concentrate, that black one.
I like pine sol.
Pine sol too. You can burn pine. You can mop with pine. I mean, literally, you can make a protection oil with pine. So yeah, there's a lot of different household things that you can use. Palo Santo, definitely.
I like the way Palo Santo smells too.
Tobacco. If you're you can make an oil with it. I mean, you can literally make a spray with it. You can even make an oil with it.
You can do all kinds of things with tobacco.
And it's a protection herb. It's a protection herb. I see a lot of people even use it to bring in money, protect their money.
Because it draws stuff in. That's like, my grandma used to, girl, we lived out in the woods, you know, and we would run around outside barefoot, and there would be like a dead hornet or a yellow jacket or whatever, and we'd step on it. And grandma, she dipped this Levi Garrett snuff. Sweet.
My grandma did too, man. That stuff, they could knock a fly out the air with it.
We'd step on them things and get the stingers in our foot. She'd reach in her mouth and pull that out and put it on the bottom of our foot where we got the stinger at, and it'd pull it right out.
Yes, snuff was deadly. Deadly back in the days. Oh my God, my grandma would spit it everywhere, and she would say, "Can't nobody get through the barrier." And it's tobacco. You can even use tobacco leaves and put your picture or your family picture in the middle of it and wrap it and pray protection over your family, because it's creating a barrier, and put that on your altar and work it that way. There's so many different ways that you could use it.
Nancy says she likes to hear us talk.
All right.
She says we're answering all her questions just by talking.
Let me see something, because I love, I have to fight with voodoo now, because it used to be that I would go out and collect like my bugs, like wasps and things like, you know, whatever's in the yard, and my little hornet's nest and things like that. Because we all know that you can use these in working. So when you see these things and you know, of course you get rid of the hornets or the wasp or whatever, things like that. If you're able to catch them, definitely put them in your jars. Keep your little things, because you'll end up loading your jar up and you can call it, you know, my fuck over you jar, because all you got to do is add their picture, their name, and everything is already in there. You close it up and you start working them.
Get some of them that call them piss ants or fire ants, red ants.
And you know, Texas got some deadly goddamn red ants, y'all. If you have never been bit by talking about those big jokers.
Oh, them big cow ants. The big red ones that's got fuzzy body. Looks like a damn bumblebee with big legs.
You burn for days before you even itch. It is like horrible. You can literally get a skull candle and open it. Whether you open it at the bottom or the top. If you want to fuck somebody's head up, open the top and put those ants and stuff, wasp and stuff in there, and then seal it. Whew, you talking about messing with somebody. They'd be sitting up there, their mind be all over the place. You'd be scrambled.
Ugh, that reminds me of that show. What was it? Oh, damn, what was that show? Was it called The Mask? where they had that steel thing on him and they opened it up and put a leech down in his ear.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, he had an iron cast on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And they opened it just enough to put that in. Yeah.
And it drove him crazy. Them ants will do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. They even did that on the mummy too. When they opened, when the priest had betrayed them, they buried him alive with the scarab. What do you call them? Scarabs?
Oh, the little beetle thing?
Yeah, the ones that eat flesh, and they literally buried him alive with it. And a lot of people do that with coffin work too. They'll get the little coffins and they'll put somebody in their picture, their personal concerns, and then they'll put bugs and everything, worms and stuff in there with them, and then bury them. Are we getting too dark? Are we going a little bit too left?
I'm thinking of that show Bones too. That's what they use, because they'll eat the shit right off the bones with a quickness.
It's true. Insects are very, very effective, especially insects that are native to your area that you know. If you've been stung by them or you know how it feels, you literally you just can work it in within your work. There's a lot of people that use worms and wasps and ants on, enemies or problems.
Oh my God. Can you imagine infesting somebody with cockroaches or them big ones?
You know what? The wood roaches, they don't bother me, but I know a lot of people that would literally jump off a building if that thing flew on them.
Oh yeah, they're scary. The thing is, hey Yoda, I don't like when they zoom across the room. They're really loud, zzz, and then hit the wall, and you, especially at night. Fuck. And then they'll zoom across to the other side and hit the wall again.
And you know they're there.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, Texas have wood roaches. My God, they look like mice.
They're speed bumps.
Yeah, they look like mice down here. I mean, like I say, they don't bother me, but I know a lot of people, and that's one way too. You can work people if you know what their fear is. If you know what their weakness is, if they have a fear of certain bugs or whatever, you literally can fuck them up with their own fear.
Spiders.
That's true.
I'm not fucking with no snake though. They can maybe a snake skin, but no snakes.
Yeah, I'm not really big into snakes either. So just my luck, somebody will make one of them big ass come over in the yard, and I'll lose my mind. I'll be laying in the grass like this. They'll be like, "What did she saw a snake? She saw a snake." I haven't been on the walking trail because my sister was like last month she was riding and she saw a rattlesnake. And then Jazz said she saw a baby rattlesnake, and I was like, you know what? My ass just fixing to stay fat and happy.
You know, Walker said he saw one in our garage last week after it rained.
A rattler or a snake?
A baby snake.
Could have been a rat snake. They could be in there looking for mice or something.
He said it was a baby, so now he thinks we got baby snakes in the garage.
Well, shit, where there's a baby, there's a mama.
Right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm like, shut the door then. When you come in, don't stand there with the door open and leave them out the house, you know?
Oh, couldn't be me. It could not be me. Somebody coming to the house, to the garage. I can't sleep until we find it.
Well, I didn't see it, so, you know. If I'd have seen it, it'd have been a whole nother story.
Just gave me the EBGBs. EBGBs.
So what else has been going on? I don't read my feed a lot on Facebook. So what's been going on? I know that I'm trying to think of something to talk about.
You know, in the spiritual community, I haven't really been seeing a whole lot other than today about the thing about somebody working their godparent or something like that, which is definitely a no-no. Whatever tradition or whatever you're in, you know, or coven or whatever, you normally don't go against the head person within that organization because they're protected and there could be a problem.
Right.
But I think,
and like that post was saying too, that person has taught you everything you know. So anything you do against them, they already know.
They already know it, and their protection is up.
Right, and which means if they know how to do it, then they more than likely know how to reverse it.
I think sometimes what happens with people is there's ego. And it's like, you know what, you taught me this, but I've fine-tuned it and I've done this with it. They still understand the foundation. And here's the thing, when you deal with people that have either brought you into their community, their fold, their coven, their tradition, you're dealing with spirits that will tell on you. Because those spirits will go back because they're going to protect that person and be like, you know what, Tanya over here doing some shady shit. You might need to go ahead and you know how we get them dreams, you know, where spirit is kind of showing you, oh, you might have a problem with somebody. Some of these people, that's what they get. So you got to be really careful. I mean, if you don't want to deal with the person in the spiritual community, don't deal with them. I kind of get, you know, this thing where people want to work on everybody just for the hell of it. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. There's no reason.
It's like, don't you have anything better to do?
Yeah. Why am I going to go waste my energy putting you in a graveyard? We don't get along. I ain't trying to kill you. I don't, you know, I just don't want to be around you. I think people, there's an emotional immaturity sometimes. And of course, emotional immaturity where you kind of have to step back and go, do I really want that heat? Do I really, really want it that bad that I'm going to do this? And if you want it, then you got to be prepared what comes with it, right?
Right.
What Nancy said she put a question in the Q&A.
She said, what are home remedies for removing negative energies like people talking badly towards you and road openings to bring in good juju? Now, I think that would go back to the protections and stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and a lot of people don't realize, Yoda, we doing the Q&A. Chill out. Come on and chill out. A lot of people don't understand that smudging doesn't work for everyone. Some people can smoke cleanse and it may work wonder for you. And then for some people, when we first moved into the house, we did a fire cleanse, which was literally getting a bowl, putting some salt in it, pouring some Florida water in it, and setting it on fire. Now it has to, of course, be a bowl that's fire retardant. If the salt burns clear, you're good. If it turns brown or black, then you have an entity or energy in here that you got to keep burning it until it's clear. You know, mopping your floors down with ammonia, with pine sol, wiping your windows down, and open your doors up. I get amazed at how many people do cleansing and smudging, and they don't open windows, doors, closets, the attic. And this is how I learned this. We lived in a house and I smudged the whole house. And I was in my zone, praying over everything. And I think it was 2 nights later, I kept hearing this man walking back and forth in the attic, back and forth in the attic. He drove me crazy for 2 days because I was scared to go in the attic and confront him. Literally what he did was, while I was cleansing everything downstairs, he went up. He just like, I'm going to go up to there he goes. He went up. So now I have come to the conclusion, if I'm going to go ahead and cleanse my space, I'm going to go ahead and open my closets up. I'm going to open the attic up. If I can't get up there with smudge, I might get a little ammonia water in a spray bottle and just spray around it, say some prayers, and close my attic up. Now, I don't know how Lynna does it, but when I cleanse, after I cleanse, I go back in with protection, which means I go back in with my anointing oil, my protection oil, my holy water, my Florida water. I've cleansed out the energy. All my stuff is still open. And I go in and I put the sign of the cross and pray over my doorway, my windows. I anoint my house, because when you strip something, just like with a cleanse for your body, you're taking negativity off of you. You want to follow up with a bath or some spray that puts protection on you. You do the same thing for your house. If you're going to cleanse it and strip all that out, you don't want to leave it wide open for the demons and everybody to come back in and have a party. You want to go back in and close the portals.
Right.
Especially mirrors too.
You take something away, you have to put something back.
Yeah.
It has to be in exchange. What I do when I do smudging is I go top to bottom, front to back. And I'll like start in the corner and you know, do the smudge, but I have a feather and I sweep it. And I sweep from one end to the other and then go down and then from the front to the back and open the back door and sweep it out.
Which normally a lot of people say you push out the back. You do push out. Now, if you live in an apartment and you don't have a back door, then of course you have to make Yoda. You have to make do.
Well, if you start at the back side of the apartment, you can move forward and push it out the front door.
Push everything out to the front.
But just do your smoke and then use the feather and sweep it, you know.
It's really easy, and a lot of times you can feel energy. You know, sometimes even if I cleanse, and I try to cleanse every week, and it's because I read and I call a lot of spirits in, and I have a lot of people that may not like me, so I have to make sure that I stay on point on my cleaning. But even if you cleanse on a Monday and Wednesday you're feeling like something is off, you got to get your stuff back out and go back through it. You have, if you feel it, if you feel something is off, you got to put your stuff back in and say, okay, let's go ahead and do round two. Sometimes we deal with trickster spirits where they hide, you know. Mm-hmm. Candelo told me this thing one time, and it's really hard because I can be a hoarder, but he was saying that if you keep a lot of clutter in your space, you end up with spirits that tend to be attracted to that clutter. And so you have to cleanse, you have to clean that out, which means that you can't be like me and throw like a week of laundry on your bed because I'm the only one here. And, you know, it's like, okay, I'll just push it to this side because I don't have to fold it technically, but then you end up with this big pile of stagnant energy. Right. And I think that may have to do with feng shui too, where the energy gets blocked. So you got to cleanse and you got to organize a little bit. And I mean, of course, sometimes we work and we got family.
I would think that the spirits and stuff could, yeah, that was right. The spirits and stuff can hide in there.
That's what he said. That's what he said. He was like, you got to get rid of things like that because spirits hide in it. And I was like, okay. I'm still a work in progress though, y'all. I still get the laundry. I still have my corners where I load all my books, and my little workstation over here is congested right now. So, I mean, you know, we're works in progress. I'm never going to say that I got this shit down pat. So be patient with yourself when you're doing things like this because it's not going to happen overnight. You know, these are routines and things that you have to get comfortable with. Right. That you have to get, you know, that they become habit for you. And then I think that makes it easier to keep it up.
Yeah. And do it, what's it take, 7 days to make something a habit?
7 days. And for some of us, 21.
Yeah. And you have to be consistent. You can't be, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Because then once you start doing that.
And I think right now, with everything going on, a lot of people, you know, we're distracted, we're depressed. I mean, it's easy to let things pile up right now because we got so much going on in the world. Between COVID-19, the protests, Black Lives Matter, and a lot of things that are going on, we tend to get distracted. And we feel heavy because there's some days I come home, I just want to lay down, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't feel like doing the laundry. I don't feel like organizing my workspace. And by the end of the week, I'm looking at it like, holy crap, you got to do something now. You got to get it up. But depression and things like that, anxiety will seep in, and it happens to all of us because I'll tell you, it does.
Oh, yeah. But the best thing you can do, I think, when you start feeling down is take a shower.
Yeah.
A shower. I mean, even if it's just a regular shower, a shower always makes me feel better.
It's true. Well, I mean, really, like you say, just cleansing, because sometimes too, it could be a funk. Mm-hmm. It could be negative energy. It could be an attachment. It could be a lot of different things that make you lose your motivation. So that is normally the first thing that hits me is that, okay, go cleanse and see how you feel. If I don't feel better, then it's like, okay, you need to do something more.
Right.
But that's true. You're right. Absolutely. Even just a regular shower.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, I don't know, something about washing your hair, because you get your head massaged. It relaxes you. And just, I stand there sometimes. I just stand there.
Well, I think sometimes you just need something to be released. Yeah. You know, whether this is just the energy on top of you, the tension, whatever it is, sometimes we need to just, like today, I stood in there and I was just like, just deep breaths.
Lock the door, you know, so it's your time. It's only time that the kid's not going to walk in, or the dog, or, well, my dog's in there, but you know.
Yeah, but still, like you say, your personal time, if you can take it. If you can take it, if you can turn it into a spiritual cleanse, it's better. But I mean, like Lynna said, just going in there and standing under the water, definitely. Water is very healing.
Water alone is cleansing.
It
If
is.
you can get down to the ocean and just breathe in the salt. I mean, not even you don't even really have to get in the water because sometimes it's too cold. But just being there and the salt spray is
It's
very
true.
cleansing.
Water has a spirit. You can talk to water. You can tell water what it needs. If you go to the water, you have Mama Wata, you have Yamaya, you have La Sarin. So you have certain spirits within that water that you could be attached to. It could be healing. But there's a YouTube video, I think Mambo Sierra shared it with me. Oh my God, it must have been at the beginning of the year where these people were literally talking to their water. You know, in the bathtub, I need you to heal this, or I need you to help me with this trauma, or I need you to do this. And it was water therapy. So, I mean,
like that.
there you go.
Like, you know how people were putting like crystals in their water? There was something also about talking, and because there, you know, there's always something about everything, right? Don't put crystals in your water. It could release something and whatever. You know,
But just the
somebody
ones that are
always
water
has something to
soluble.
say about something. So they were like, you can speak your intentions into the water before you drink your water.
Well, I mean, I used to make elixirs under the full moon where I would put my crystals in a baggie, a waterproof baggie, and I would put them, I would fill the container up with water and then put my crystals in and let it sit outside overnight. Because what would happen is the crystals, the water takes on the property of the crystal. So say you want psychic vision, you would put amethyst. And now they have these fancy things now where the crystal sits in a little globe and you fill it up with water and you put it, you know, and I used to do mine with like gallon jugs and just kind of cut the top off. But now they've gone fancy. You can pay $49
for a water bottle.
For a water bottle with a crystal in the middle of it. You guys don't do that. You literally can put a glass container with a crystal inside of another container and fill it up with water as long as that container is waterproof for your crystals. And some crystals literally can't sit in water. You have to research it. But I mean, aventurine, I would do that for money water, and I would drink that. Amethyst, I would use psychic water. Tiger's eye, water for courage, anxiety. Black obsidian, I would use for protection. I mean, literally, I would label it and put gallons of it in the refrigerator, and I would make myself drink it until it was all gone.
Moldavite would be really good too, but you have to keep it separate from the water. You can't let it.
Yeah, moldavite
there are minerals and different chemicals and stuff. You know, lapis has got stuff, you know, growing in it. I mean, a lot of the stones are minerals. They're not, you know.
Well, I mean, you definitely have to research because, like I say, some you can put in water and some you cannot. So you have to be, of course, responsible with what you're trying to do. But like I say, nowadays, you know, you get these little containers that have a compartment for your stones and your gems or whatever, and you put them in there and fill it up with water, and you're good to go. Yeah. And you drink it. I think it's for some people, if it's easier to do, you know, you can do that. But if you want to do like the makeshift ones, just make sure whatever container you're using that you put your crystals in is waterproof.
Right.
If you really are trying not to get them wet. I had somebody last year, because I shared that on my page, and I had them in a waterproof, 2 waterproof baggies, and she was like, "You're telling people this, and they're gonna get poisoned by the crystals and this and that." And it was like, okay, look, been doing this for like 10 years. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay. She just couldn't grasp what I was doing or what I was trying to do. And then at the very end, she was just like, "You know what? Screw you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, yeah."
That's what I was saying. Somebody's always going to have something to say. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's get technical. should anybody be putting tomatoes on their hamburger? It's belladonna. It's in the belladonna family.
Yeah, but shit, I ain't eating no hamburger without tomatoes on it.
Right?
But I'm gonna take that chance because that's what I like. But that's my personal preference. So
Right.
yeah. You know, that kind of comes up another thing, people telling other people how to practice. You know, I don't know what your intention is, but I should be able to respect it. Now, if I see you doing something that I feel may harm you, then, you know, I'll pray on it and see if spirit wants me to talk about it. And if they say yes, then I might be like, you know what, you might just want to be careful. You might just want to be careful, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it if that's what you, because most people are going to do what they want to do anyway.
Now, there is a flip side to that, though, is when people disrespect the religion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know, you see somebody, let's just say, putting butter on a candle, because everybody knows about putting the butter on the candle.
I saw that and I, for the life of me, couldn't figure it out.
Girl,
it didn't sit right with my soul. It didn't sit right with my spirit.
Don't you think that that's disrespectful to Conjure, to our ancestors? Butter was like a luxury thing. They would not waste their butter.
Well, girl, that was the whole thing.
And why the hell would you put butter on a damn candle anyway?
Yeah.
But in that instance, I don't know. I might have to say something to somebody and say, girl, you are not putting no butter on that candle.
But here's my thing, because I'm like you, butter is a luxury. Like, we're not talking about margarine or, you know, something that you can get for 98 cents. We're talking about like butter, like $4, $5.
In the day, they couldn't get, you know, condiments and stuff.
So yeah, you're right. Things like that I remember seeing the post and I just put question mark, because I literally was confused. Because I'm like, okay, I want to put butter on my toast. You know, I want to go ahead and saute my vegetables in my butter. You know, I want to have my butter for my cream of wheat or my malto meal. So me putting butter on a candle will never fucking happen in this household. Because I use it too much on the stuff.
Ancestors would never have done that.
No.
Never would they have done that. But
you know what? I was open enough to say, maybe this is the way her people taught her. And I just put question mark, because I had so many questions. And then I saw a lot of people that were coming at her. And I think sometimes it's really how you talk to people too.
Right.
I can understand you at one point were part of a coven. So I've never been a part of a coven. If you do something and I don't really understand it, my first thought is like, oh my God, Lynna's, you know, losing her mind or something like that, because you may not be. You may not be. So as a friend or somebody who hasn't had that experience, I should come to you respectively and say, you know what? I'm not sure what you're doing. I've never done this before. Can you explain this to me? Why you're doing it? And then if you tell me and I get it, I get it. If I don't get it, then I'm like, okay, it's not for me to understand. But all this, you know, attacking people and stuff for what they practice, there's ways that you can correct people without attacking them or breaking them down.
But what I meant was, like, what people does, we have to respect them for what they do. But what about when they're disrespecting the tradition?
Well, I think the whole thing about it is, if you, I was like, what happened?
I don't know.
I think honestly, if you don't understand something, it's probably best to stay silent and observe. Now, you're not in voodoo.
Right.
If you came over to my house in a head wrap with a snake wrapped around your neck and you up there, you know, voodoo music, and I'm gonna have to pull you to the side and be like, no, you ain't going to my altar like that, because that's not what we do. Because then you're gonna fuck me up with you. So I'm gonna have to say, you know what? No, you can't do it. I love you, but you can't do that. I have to properly teach you. But if you're doing, we got people now that are entitled. I just got into it with a guy this week. He's telling me what a mambo is. You're not initiated into voodoo. You're not a female. So how are you telling me a mambo what a mambo is?
Right.
You're out of your place. Another Ugan, another mambo can come to me and say, you're corrected. My papa can come to me and say, correct this. But somebody who is not initiated, who doesn't understand the tradition, who's not even the sex of what a mambo is, how can you, now you're being disrespectful, you're feeling entitled.
Right.
You know? I felt like what he was doing was throwing his dick on the table and challenging me. And so what I had to do was get my imaginary spiritual dick that's way bigger in voodoo, right, and come back and be like, bam, I just broke the bitch. The table's broken in half. Because you don't know what you're talking about.
I can totally see you do that too.
I'm good doing it too. It's like, boy, hold up. Bam. You know, that's like me telling you, this is what a coven does. I'm coming to your house and we gonna cast a circle and we calling in Hecate, and you looking at me like, you know, I could, no. So no, you can't do that.
Do you know who Hecate is?
And I don't work with her, so that would be so disrespectful of me to assume that I could. And I think that's the issue. It's not everybody, because I think the majority of people are very respectful. Very respectful. If you were to,
there are some, but that's everywhere.
Yeah, you're gonna have some that are gonna try it. They're gonna push the boundary, and it's because you have some people that are very arrogant and narcissistic. They believe that everything is supposed to be for them.
Oh yeah.
And that's not true. Everything is not supposed to be for me. So why would I assume that I can come into everything and claim it when it's not my thing, you know? So you get that with people. And I think literally you try to be respectful, which is what I did with the guy at first. I tried to be respectful and be like, okay, you know, look, this is not what you do. You got to be respectful to me. Even though you don't understand me, you're calling my title out. Don't do that. Don't be disrespectful. And he decided to do it. And I had to come in, had to lay it down. Cause you know, in my world, you don't do that. You do not do that. And then I'm from the South too. We don't do that. I don't even come to your house and be like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go upstairs to your room, because that's not my house. You know, you invite me. You like, Tanya, and the first time I came over to your house, I was downstairs and you were going up the stairs, and you were like, you turned around and you were like, you can come on up.
Right. Because
I wouldn't. Why would I think that I could go in your room when you haven't invited me there? So it's a common respect and a courtesy. Some people, that's just bad homeschooling, bad home training.
Oh, I'm bad then, because I go in your room every time I come over your house.
Yeah, but you know, I tell you, when you come over here, my house is your house. So that's a different thing. When you come over and I'm like, yeah, you know, come on, you can go in my kitchen or whatever. I open my house up to you. But no.
And you raised your daughter to be the same way, because she was like going to stand there at the door. I'm like, come in and meet the dogs.
Heck yeah, because she would have got knocked in the head. But that's the way I was raised. That's the way that they're raised. And you're supposed to be respectful. You're invited places. You go in as a guest. You don't go in thinking you're entitled to it. You don't do that. Even in the spiritual community, we don't do that. You know? Because there's going to be that one psychotic worker that you're going to push, and they're going to put you in the graveyard over something petty. So you got to know who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with.
I agree.
There's enough for everybody to learn. When in doubt, I always say ask questions and research. Don't just assume that you know everything. I'm 52. I don't know. You know, some mornings I wake up, I'm like, I don't know shit.
You know, and well, you know me, I like research anyway. That's like the fun part, because you might find out something else that it does that you can use it for too.
And that is your thing. You research everything. Now me, I only get there when I have to get there. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to be dealing with this, so I'll read the book or look it up. But you cover everything. I can bring up any subject and you're like, yeah, I read on it. Yeah, I Googled it. Yeah, I have a notebook about it. And that's you. 100% you.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun to me.
It's true. It's true. I will say you have always been very respectful, and even supportive. Even before I initiated and things like that, and I was talking to you about it, you were like, just make sure it's what you want to do, look into it. So you have always, I think, been very mindful of not stepping over people, or being disrespectful, even when you may not have known everything.
No, because you were doing something that I didn't do, and that's okay. What if it works for you? Great. I don't have to disrespect it just because I don't do it.
Right.
I respect you as a person, and if it works for you, go for it. If
Absolutely.
you think this is, but I always did say, if you think this is the right thing for you, you need to make sure.
That's true. And I think that's what you expect a friend to do, because we're talking about two different paths, that we practice, but it doesn't take away from who we are.
No, I mean, when I spent the night, last weekend or whenever, a week and a half ago, you were, after the readings, you got up and you started running all around the house, and I looked at Jazz. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And she's like, oh, she's just doing service. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. And I go back to writing in my little thing.
Girl, when it comes to my voodoo spirits, it's like, oh my God, I got service.
Right?
We don't want to be blown up. We got to do what we got to do so I can make sure everybody in the house okay tonight.
Back and forth. And I'm like, what's she doing?
Girl, yes. And it's crazy because I've had people that have come over. In fact, Butter came over one time and he was like, let's go see a movie. And I was like, cool. I said, but I have to do service first. And you got to sit on the couch unless you want to come dance with me. And he was looking at me like with one eye, like, what do you mean? So I put on my voodoo music. I'm getting my candles. I'm making coffee. I'm chopping up sweet potatoes. I'm in my corner and I'm dancing. And he's just looking at me like, oh, okay. But yeah, I made a commitment. So I have to be true to who I am.
That's your thing. And I just have to respect you for who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me what you do, as long as, if I respect you, I respect all of you, not just part of you.
I'm the same way. Absolutely. I agree.
So if it works for you, yay. And hey, who knows? I might need you to help me out sometime too, You got your tool bag. I got my tool bag. Together we got 2 tool bags. So, And
I like that too, because we literally have, even though my foundation is probably more root work and conjure, there are still things that I wasn't taught that you were.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the idea where I could be like, I'm having this issue, and you're like, okay, do this, this, and that. Because it connects with the work that needs to be done, that maybe the Loa or the voodoo is not, maybe it's too much for that. Yeah. But I like when you put that energy into it, and you're like, yeah, try this or do this. Because then it's bouncing things off. And of course, I'm here, and my spirits are always here for you anyway. Right. You're my friend, so if anybody fucks with you, they fuck with me, and it is what it is. But
you got mine,
Yes, exactly. And that's how it should be in a spiritual community. That's the way it should be.
No scratching. You don't have to scratch my back, and I don't have to scratch yours. You just have to have my back.
Absolutely.
And I'll have yours.
And I hope someday that we get back to that. I think sometimes ego gets involved with a lot of people.
Well, it's too much. I feel like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, which is basically you do for me and I'll do for you. But if you love somebody as a friend or whatever, if you care about somebody, there shouldn't be conditions.
Yeah. I think that's part of the issue nowadays, is that that's what a lot of things in life, one-sided relationships where people feel like, do for me.
Right.
But if it's a healthy relationship, that's not even a conversation, because I already know if I need you, you're going to be there. And if you need me, I'm going to be there. There's no tit for tat or tallying up scores. Oh, well, Lynna only went this far this week, so You know, I can only go this far with her and then let her get fucked up. I mean, really, if you care about people, and I think with traditions, houses, and things like that, that's the way it should be.
It should. It should be unconditional. And
It's,
well, yeah, especially like if you have a coven or a house, it's supposed to be a family, not and not like a blood family, because blood family is, you know, blood family will fuck you faster than
but
anybody.
here's the thing, though, and I think we got to be honest about it, because a lot of people think that they're going to join a coven or a tradition or a house and think everything is going to be, you know, kumbaya, but dysfunction crosses lines.
It does, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't, because those are a chosen family, you know.
It is a chosen family, but your family is only as strong as the person who's doing the choosing.
Right.
So we could be cool and somebody else comes into the equation that completely throws it off because there's a problem. Maybe somebody
between you and I, the other person I think would have to go.
Oh, for sure they would have to go. For sure they would have to go. But I think a lot of people don't realize that there are dysfunction in spiritual houses and covens and things like that, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's sad to me. It's sad.
It is, but
I feel like, you know, that's your family. You should be there for each other. You know, have each other's back.
I think for the most part, a lot of people try, and I think sometimes ego, mental illness, there's a lot of different things. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that kind of get lost in those connections where things can get imbalanced. They can't happen. And I think people have to be honest about it, because I hear a lot of people, oh, I got to stay in this environment because I committed to this or whatever. First of all, you made a commitment to spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're in a coven, the spirits or the deities that you're working with, you have some type of connection to them. There's a connection there. Right. Now, if there's
that coven or that house doesn't own those spirits.
Exactly. So you got to realize that if you get into something that is toxic, you know, a lot of people be like, oh, I'm taking your spirit, or I'm going to punish you and do this and that. No, the spirits that walk with you, they're going to walk with you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to say, okay, you know what, this doesn't work for me anymore. I got to walk away from this because it's not healthy. Not because I don't love these people, not because I don't love the spirits, or not because I don't love the rituals, but because it's unhealthy.
Right.
And this is a spiritual thing where you're supposed to evolve. If you're going the other way and digressing, you're really not, what are you doing? So you gotta be honest with yourself when you connect with houses and covens and organizations. Is this for me? Take the time, y'all, to research.
Yeah, and Nancy saying that she hates reading, but you know, with the internet, there's so much stuff on. Don't believe everything on YouTube, but you know, you don't necessarily have to read to do research, because you can talk to people too. You know, if you want to, let's say you're researching, I don't know, something. You came in here, you're researching how to protect yourself. You came in here tonight, you asked somebody, and we told you, and you didn't have to read that. I mean, there's lots of different ways to do research.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I think it probably stops you from falling into a lot of bad situations, whether this is practicing, learning the spirit, or connecting with other people, you know, other spiritualists, other religions. You have to.
And you know, when you do your, well, look, I'm going to tell somebody how to do research. I was going to say, make sure you research the history behind it. What are you know, wives' tales? When people would tell stories, what are those stories? Why does such and such hold this property? Why is it used for that? You know, who was the first person to bust open an aloe vera and dig out snot and put it on their sunburn? You know.
True.
What started that? Where did it come from? You know, those kind of things.
I think the easiest thing is to focus on what you're trying to learn first. you know, and I did that with voodoo. I was buying all these major big books. I'm talking about books that were thick. And I kept falling asleep on them because they had so much stuff that was not what I wanted or what I was looking for. And so I just started focusing on, okay, I want to work with the spirit. Let me find out everything I need to know about how to serve this particular Loa, how to, you know, set my altar up. And then gradually, you know, more information came in. You know, of course, you have to sometimes, if you, especially with traditions, you have to understand the history of why it's there in the first place. You know, why is voodoo voodoo? Where did it come from? You know, who were the people that started this? And then you kind of go into it. But I get what she's saying, though, because there's a lot of information that can be very overwhelming.
Right. But I mean, like, I know you like to work with Rue a lot. And I mean, I just typed it in the Google magical spirits of Rue. Like, what are the spirits behind that herb? And they're talking about it was used in exorcist rituals.
True.
You
can banish a bitch with Rue.
The planet for Rue is Mars, so it's associated with Artemis. So you might want to read about Artemis.
That's true. You're right.
You know, obviously, if it's Mars, it's probably what fire. It's used to bless, purify, protect. When you do energy cleansing, it scares away evil spirits. It has the power to attract money. You know, yeah, but I mean, it talks about, you know, its planet. So then you throw astrology in on an herb, and now you also have what is that, Greek or Roman? What is Artemis, Greek or Roman or something? But now you got, you know, a deity that you can research too and read the story and see why. And to me, that's why I like research, because I get all fascinated and get off in the story.
It's true. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I know how they don't know how you are, but I know how you are.
Yeah, I get excited. That's like this whole thing with the collegium. I can't wait, because you know what I'm gonna do in my very first class. I'm gonna tell about the history.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be perfect.
Because if you don't know the history, then you know.
I think that's part of you have to know the foundation. If you don't have the foundation, it's harder to build from something if you don't know where you're at.
I'm excited about it. Well, you know, when I start talking about the history of something, I was sitting there talking about, oh, now you're bringing astrology in, and it's a planet Mars and Artemis, and you know.
It's true. But you know, that literally is the way your brain functions, to where it's like, okay, I got to know everything. It's like you don't want to know one or two things. You have to know everything about it.
I want to know the story behind the story.
It's true. And you're not the only one. I know you're not the only one. I'm like Nancy, though. I'm like, okay. Right? Okay. I got to read up on it, unless I'm just passionate about it.
Yeah, you're going to type Artemis into Netflix and see what comes up.
Exactly. Probably some naked Greek god or something flying through the air with wings or something, I'm sure. Now, that might get my interest. I ain't going to lie.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, I like history. I can't wait. I'm scared to death, though.
Yeah. I think with the Collegium, the way it's set up, and if you guys don't know what the Collegium of Arcane Studies is, Shishi, the Black Bonnet Witch, Calico Goddess, came up with this really great idea to incorporate learning different types of practices and magic. And so there's a diverse group of professors that are coming in and are going to be talking, and Lynna's going to be doing the divination class with tarot cards with the Marcel, right? Marseille?
Yeah, the Tarot de Marseille.
Yes. And so, and I'm voodoo, and then of course there's some conjure, some root work thrown in with me. That's a beautiful deck. There's I think it's 7 or 8 teachers, but there's a little bit of everything. And so this is a really great opportunity for people who are coming in and starting off, and they want to they haven't chosen what their path is probably yet, but they want to kind of open up to a lot of different areas so that they can grow. And then if you want to go ahead and branch off into something that you're focused on, and it's good. But I think it gives a really good foundation for people that are trying to learn, especially people coming in new. What are you pulling cards?
No, girl. Well, kind of. Look what I got.
Did you get a new deck, Lynna?
Kind of.
Lynna Albert.
Do you see it?
Oh, your tiles.
It's hard to see.
No, they're beautiful. They're bigger than what I thought they were going to be. I'm so jealous. Where's that envy oil at?
Right. Oh, and look, you remember I told you.
Where's that damn envy oil?
You remember how we couldn't see that thing? So look.
They are beautiful.
I got a magnifying glass so I can see the shit too.
Good Lord, I'm even afraid to ask the price. I'm not going to ask on this live because I know I'm going to pass out, but Lord have mercy. She did a really good job.
You should see. Can you see that?
I can see.
When I get closer, it gets darker.
No, you can see the images on it. And the gloss of it too. And that's wood, right? They're on wood. Oh, I like the back.
And the box is beautiful.
Lynna, don't show me no more. I don't want to see nothing else, Lynna.
Look, you gotta see the box.
Lynna, no. No, God damn you, Lynna. Let me see the box again.
It has all the cards on the box. I'm trying to not get the... Can you see it? I'm going dark.
We are in a pandemic, Tonya. You're not spending no money. You're in a pandemic. You're not spending no money.
See the box? It's engraved. It has the cards engraved on it.
Oh my gosh. Did she engrave them on the box?
Mm-hmm. And on the top and on the bottom.
Anyway, it's beautiful. I don't even know.
Love it.
Don't even give me that look. No. It's not happening. It is not freaking happening.
And she made the magnifying glass too.
Next time you come over, you got to bring them so I can play.
I'm going to come over tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Because Taylor was wanting to know, look, I'm getting off subject now. She wanted to know, did she leave her AirPods case over there? Like a little white case?
Oh, crap. I don't know. And Jasmine cleaned the living room up and rearranged everything. Where was she at when she stayed in the living room? So they got to be somewhere in the living room.
Yeah, maybe the coffee table or the desk.
It's a white case?
Yeah, I don't have another one, but it's what you put the AirPods in to charge them.
Oh, Lynna. Okay, I'll look for it. I'll look for it tonight.
Yeah.
See what I can find, because I know she moved a lot of things over here, but I'll look for it. If it's here, we will find it for sure.
No problem.
Yeah.
You know her in electronics?
Normally when she leaves things, I'll put them up so that way I'll put them in a little baggie when she comes back so they don't get moved around or lost. But Jasmine decided to clean and rearrange, and I don't even know where half my stuff is. So I'm kind of like, okay. But I'll ask Jazz. She might have picked them up and put them in her room or put the case. So it's not the AirPods. It's just the case for them.
Right. She's got the AirPods. She just doesn't have the case to charge them.
Thank God. Because I was like,
use them because they're dead.
She can't charge them with yours?
I don't have a case. Those are mine.
Oh.
Over.
I got you.
I don't have an extra case.
Ooh, okay, love. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this with you because I got my 7:30 reading.
Okay.
Should be calling in a little bit, but I enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed. And next time, come with some questions.
Yes, write it down like anything you want to know. Like I was saying, how would you make a mojo bag, or
recipes that you're interested in?
I wish somebody would have asked, or if I would have thought of it. A lot of clients are asking about, they want to move. So what could somebody do? Now, I know it's too late now, but what could somebody do to help them find a house or to help them not get evicted? Things like, what can I do?
I mean, that's one. There's a lot of different things you can take dirt from some.
But I'm saying that you know, ask questions. Ask us like, what do you do questions, or how do you do questions? Because that's really cool too. I mean, if we don't know, we don't know. Maybe we can tell you, or we
That's
can Google it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, like you said, we got Google, we got internet, we can figure it out, or we can call somebody.
Or we probably know somebody, or maybe somebody, we know somebody who knows somebody, you know.
We do. You know we do. Between the two of us, we know somebody who knows somebody.
Right. But yeah, write down your questions and tell your friends about us. Tell them to sign up, and you know, they can get the link. We can get more people in, have a party. It'll be our own little secret clubhouse. So if you are watching on YouTube, and we're not ignoring you, it's just that we're in our own little clubhouse. It's called Conjure Crew, and you have to sign up to get a special link to join us, so then we can interact with you. If you would like to sign up, you can go to www.conjurekcrew.com.
Wow.
And that's crew with a C, not a K. I know some people spell it with a K, but yeah.
We're old. We're going to use the C.
Right. ConjureCrew.com. So.
Well, thank you, ma'am, for having me on here. I appreciate it. I love chatting with you, but you know, I love talking to you, period, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if nobody showed up, we could still take the whole hour.
we were gonna run our mouths.
Right.
You just can't talk shit. Well, I mean, we just gotta use code words.
Right. Well, you remember when oh yeah. And they'll be like, what?
We got it. So I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Yeah, she wants to stop by and see if you got that. And I'm gonna drive up north anyway. So we'll stop by. You know, I'm gonna need to go pee. I gotta stop and use the bathroom.
We got one. We got two. So definitely. Okay, sweets. Well, be safe, and I will see you tomorrow. For everybody, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I really do.
Love you bunches.
All right, sweets. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.